Guys, Mike from Urban Automotive, Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Here today to talk about one of the most overlooked items on the vehicle, a fuel filter. A fuel filter is in the fuel line. It screens out dirt, dust, and rust particles from the fuel. It's normally made into cartridges containing a filter paper. They're found in most internal combustion engines, including obviously vehicles. Most modern vehicles are going the way of having these filters in the tank in the form of a simple sock. But on the older vehicles, they had them in line. We had a drivability issue yesterday with the vehicle, and it turns out that the fuel filter was plugged. How does a fuel filter become plugged? Well, over time, dirt, dust, particles, sediment from the fuel settle in the tank and then get drawn up through the fuel lines into the internal combustion engine. The fuel gets sucked through this, and as the filter becomes plugged, you can imagine it's a lot harder to draw through this plugged fuel filter. What does the sediment look like from a fuel filter? That's a very good question. I happen to have the answer for you. This, at the bottom of the cup, you can see the sediment came from this fuel filter. Now, the interesting thing about it, because I always say there's two people you can't lie to, one's your doctor, the other one's your mechanic. The fuel filter date stamp on this, if you can read it, is 05/11/98. Now that simply means that this vehicle that was in was a 99. This is an original fuel filter on the vehicle. So the vehicle had gone 60,000 kilometers since 1999 without having a fuel filter change. Generally, it's good practice to have these changed on a regular basis. Some would argue 20,000 K, some would argue 50,000 K. At the very least, with every major tune-up, which these days would be about 100,000 K, the fuel filter should be changed. The difference between the fuel, that is what good fuel looks like. I'm sure all of you have seen lots of examples of this when you're adding it to your lawnmowers and such. But that is good fuel. This is definitely not. So keep that in mind the next time you're bringing the vehicle in for service. Have your service provider check your fuel filter, see if your vehicle has one that's in line, that's easily changed. We're dealing in this case with under $20 repair to resolve the issue. If left unattended or unaddressed, it can likely take out the fuel pump, which obviously has to work a lot harder to draw the fuel through the clogged filter. And in this case, you'd be looking at a lot more to replace the fuel pump versus the cost of a simple cartridge filter. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.